Welcome to Under the Influence. Okay. All right. Sean Millea is an NYU Tisch film school graduate that went viral on TikTok earlier this year in January and February of 2020 when he asked TikTok users to help him hack into Justin Bieber's Twitter account by guessing random passwords. The part two of this challenge, where Sean shows a DM from Justin Bieber that said, "I got in," has over 7 million views and over 2 million likes. From here, Sean started a social media movement. He asked his followers to tag various celebrities in a photo of him in a purple Teletubby costume, flooding their Instagram mentions with this photo, all in an effort to get them to say "sup" to him. His targets included Billie Eilish and the king of social media himself, David Dobrik, who actually showed his reaction to the Teletubby tags on his Instagram story and obliged to the request by commenting "sup" in Sean's TikTok. The last phase of his cause, as Sean called it, was trying to get Ellen DeGeneres' attention in order to get Eric Erdman, a young man with terminal brain cancer, on her show. Since then, Sean has continued to make TikTok series, such as one where he becomes pen pals with a prisoner in California named Doug. Sean currently has over 675,000 followers and over 14 million likes on TikTok. Welcome, Sean. I'm so excited to have you here. Thanks for joining us.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me. That was cool. Nice little intro.
Yeah.
And
Did some
whoa,
research.
I wasn't nervous until you said all that, and I was like, damn, like this is a serious interview. Like I felt like I was on a news channel or something. But
Yeah, a
yeah,
lot of credentials here.
yeah,
Yeah. So let's just get right into it.
yeah.
From your first viral videos, there's obviously a clear mission, which was to get celebrities to say "sup" to you, to acknowledge you, through the Justin Bieber, the Teletubbies challenge, I suppose. Why were celebrities the focus?
It's funny you say that because like the past few days I've been like thinking about my humor and where it sometimes goes, and I'm like, huh, like a lot of the time, like why is it that I end up like going for celebrities? And so I've been trying to not do it as much. Uh, and I don't really know with the Justin Bieber one. It just made me laugh because I had this idea where I was like, huh, like anybody could try signing into his Twitter. So it's like, what if I just made a video and told everybody to try?
Mhm.
Um, so there was just the humor of that. Like it's like, oh, this guy's super famous, but it's possible we can hack his Twitter account. Like, and then with the David Dobrik thing, I think you know what it was. I remember thinking, I was like, okay, I went viral with this Justin Bieber thing, and I was at the gym, and I was like, what's another social media hack that could get people like what'll cause them to feel like there's a community around this idea, because that's kind of why the first one went viral. It didn't even
Mhm.
the first one didn't go that viral, by the way. It only hit like 500K, but at the time, to me, that was like holy shit, like I'm famous. And so then I did the second one where I made it look like Justin Bieber messaged me.
Right.
um I did a video before it showing how you can do it, just so I was like, all right,
Yeah.
like I was like at the very least, like I'm leaving an Easter egg on my profile that shows that I'm lying, so it's not like. But anyway, um, that's the one that did 7 million when I made it look like Justin Bieber responded.
Right.
So, um, so anyway, my thought was like, okay, so what's another thing like community based, celebrity based kind of idea? And I remember in December last year, I tried getting a job from Gary Vee, and I tagged him in a post. And I realized that when you edit the post and you untag the celebrity, save it, and then edit the post again, tag them again, no matter how old the photo is, it'll go to the top of their like tagged photo section. And so
Wait, hold on. Can you clarify that again? So if you put a post, like a picture up in like 2019 and like tagged
I'll do,
somebody.
yeah. So like I'll go to my profile. I'll go literally just scroll and scroll and scroll and scroll and scroll and scroll, blah blah blah, all the way to the bottom. Um to just like some random ass photo. and this is kind of how I came up with the Teletubby idea as well, but we'll get there. We'll get there. So yeah, here's this photo of me in a go-kart, just like super young. It's from 2012.
Okay.
So you go to hit edit.
Okay.
You know, okay, hold on. Yeah. Hit tag, whatever. Tag.
Mhm.
We'll tag. Who will tag? We'll tag. Who's a celebrity you like?
Um, Dua Lipa.
Dua Lipa. Now, some celebrities have it set so that you can't, like, their fans can't tag them. But so I just tagged Dua Lipa. Let's see. Dua Lipa, 54 million followers. Oh damn. Okay, so that was a bad example. She has it set, so you can't do that. Damn.
Okay.
I was hoping the reveal would be sick. It would have been so cool. Uh, I
Okay,
would.
so I why
We're gonna
how
do
did you
Billie
find that
Eilish.
out though?
What's that?
How'd you find this out that that worked?
So I was tagging Gary V in December in a post, basically asking for a job. So here's Billie
Mm.
Eilish. Here's me at the top. You see? Oh,
Oh, yeah, I see.
and then you'll notice with Billie Eilish now that two people have already done it since I did it.
Yeah.
But I could edit it, save it, or save it without her tag, do it all over again. So I made a TikTok basically showing them this, and it was the photo of me and a Teletubby. I went through my Instagram. I was like, what's the weirdest photo I got? Found the Teletubby one, started tagging Billy, and made the post look guys, how funny is this?
Mhm.
Like I'm doing this and I'm staying at the top. And some people were commenting like here 2 hours later he's still at the top because I straight up was doing it all day. And then when I made that video, some kids started like I noticed like I was like, wait a second, like somebody else is doing it with me. Like I wasn't
Mm.
posting it, somebody else was. So I made a video about that. The kid's name was Mr. Penguin. And once
Mhm.
people saw that he was helping, then more helped. And then I made a more like formal video, like and instead of like the green screen background and me, like I edited it myself. And I said at the end, like, watch this multiple times so
Yeah.
that people see it because that's part of the algorithm. And like I made them like it's like a young audience. I made them feel like they're part of this like cause. They're part of this meme. They're part of this funny video in a sense. And so it kind of just like became more than I had expected it to be.
Mhm.
And so I started getting hate too from like Billie Eilish fans, like a lot of hate. They were like, dude, like this is how we connect with her. Why are you doing this? Like super pissed. And I kind of realized like, okay, she's super famous and it's not part of her brand to react to this.
Mm.
So I was like, I had seen David Dobrik blogs. I really liked him. I was like, he seems like the type that would respond. So I
Yeah.
went to his page, his tag photos, like you could do it to him. And like even today, like after the whole thing's blown over, like he doesn't change as often as hers does. So when I did it to him, it was like no chance he wouldn't see it.
Mhm.
And then he responded. I with him, he like made a TikTok at first with like the Teletubby thing. Didn't respond to me, didn't acknowledge me. So then I made another video like we're not stopping. Finally, he said sup, and I was super anxious because I was like, dude, he might actually like be annoyed by this. There was part of me that's like, this is content for him, so maybe he does like it.
Yeah.
But there's part of me that's like, God, like I really like this guy. I hope he doesn't, you know, I hope he's not pissed off at me. And so
Yeah.
all he commented was sup. That was it. That was the end of it. I never heard from him again. So I was like, all right, that's cool, I guess. Like whatever. But I got hate from his fans too for a little while. But yeah, why celebrity? I don't know. Like I wrote at the time, like the whole thing was just fun until it wasn't. It was also anxiety inducing because there was like a level of like, okay, like I don't know, like I was like, this is fun, but like some people think it's cringe or whatever on Twitter. Like, not that I should care, but like it was like reaching. So basically, at a point, they like form these little communities where they're like, some are like saying, okay, Sean just wants us for clout. Let's form our own thing. Fuck him. And like, we're gonna basically like little cults that were like, because somebody messaged me like, some of the group chats are forming governments and they're talking about overthrowing you. However you would do that, I don't know. But and
What?
so that part was fun because I was like, this is weird. Like it's a little macro or microcosm cult online that I've created. And it was, and the funniest part too was like people were making memes, and the memes were so funny. It was like I had this idea, and then people were like decorating the idea with their ornaments. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? So it's like the meming thing. The videos I made were just the Christmas tree, and their memes, and their helping, and their comments were all the ornaments or whatever. But um, yeah, they formed like little governments or whatever, and that was weird. And so the anxiety part was like, okay, when do they turn on me and say, oh fuck this guy, his idea is stupid, and when do the celebrities finally say, what the fuck's going on? Because that's the weird part. Not they started tagging random celebrities on their own, and I'm not even kidding you, like Barack Obama, Shane Dawson, Charlie D'Amelio, like every celebrity I could think of at the time, I was their tags was just me. It
Mhm.
was so weird. And so I was worried then, like I'm like the president of the United States is full of my photo, like how, or the ex-president, whatever. I'm like, that's kind of, it almost seems like, is this legal? Like I don't know. So um but and so yeah, I was like surprised that like I don't know that more people like I didn't end up hearing. Well, so what ended up happening was this girl. Did you hear about like the step chickens?
No.
That was like a big cult. Like that's a cult on TikTok where the girl straight out came out and said like I'm making a cult. This is my cult, and like it got huge. So she was on the New York Times. Like she's verified on TikTok, and I remember being like, "Oh damn! Like I did a cult first, but I did it on accident." She actually straight up was like, "Let me make a cult," which is cool. It's a cool idea. She executed it well, but yeah. Why celebrities? Oh well. That's it. Sorry, I keep like going on
No,
tangents.
that's
It's
fine.
such a convoluted thing that like I find myself wanting to say so much about it and forgetting where I started. So anyway, the celebrity thing was I remember thinking at the time, like, it's kind of cool because, Billie Eilish is like the biggest name in music right now. But here's my face all over her profile. Like, she can't stop me from being, it was like graffiti on like a a monument. That's what I said at the
Mm.
time. And so I remember being like, yeah, like this is us being heard. And like I didn't really like I wasn't like oh like we're silenced like I didn't feel like it's something that needed to be done, but it was just funny because of that.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't matter who you are, if you can be clever enough you can, you know it, it's
Reach
almost
the
like,
stars.
yeah, you might edit this
Yeah.
part out, I don't know, like how like so there's a guy that killed John Lennon.
I no, I don't.
So this guy killed John Lennon, and when they asked him why, like part of the reason was like he wanted to acquire his fame. And so the way not at all bad version of that is like because he's like I can see the idea. I always you ever think about that when you see a celebrity in public? It's like if I punch them in the face right now, I'd be on the news. Like it's this weird little cognitive dissonance. You've never had that, obviously. You shake your head, but
No, I've
I,
never
I
had that.
I've heard of people that have thought of this, so I'm not crazy. But basically, what I'm trying to say is like that guy actually did it.
Right.
Way worse. He's mentally disturbed too. That's also a layer of it. But what the Teletubby thing felt like in a way was like a metaphorical punch in the face.
Yeah. I
But I didn't end up on the news, so I was wrong.
I have had that feeling though when I see a celebrity, how should I make my encounter? It's not so much for like the world or like to be on the news, but like that it'll make an impact on them. Like I don't want to be like, oh my God, hi, I'm such a fan. Like I love your work. That's like every single person that probably
Yeah, yeah, I see what you want to like be like part
like
of their
what's something
life in a
different
way.
that yeah, that would like be
Mm,
interesting or and I when I, when I lived in New York and I feel like I saw Anderson Cooper, I saw Jesse Eisenberg, I saw Leonardo DiCaprio, and I just couldn't think of anything cool, so I just didn't do anything.
yeah, I know what you mean. I think, and it's partly too like for me, it's like it's more not so much that I want to make an impact on their life as much as I'm like, oh shit, they're like real. Like, not
Mm,
that, like, when you see them on social media, when you idolize them, you're like, are these people like there's conspiracies, they're in the Illuminati and shit. And so there's almost like a mysticism around them. Like, are they really the the person that I think they are. Are they even real? Like, not that I don't think they're real, but the idea that I could impact them in some way, make David Dobrik say something is like, oh shit, like they are real and I am real. And just because like the idea of fame, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
it's this like weird, like mystical thing in my head, like fame, but it's like that was almost proof that it's like not anything. It's like it's just David Dobrik. It's just some dude with a social media. And if you yell at him loud enough, he will turn around and say, what? You know, like, yes, I'm here. Like, so that was, I think.
Yeah, like it's not the barrier. I feel like you kind of like penetrated this barrier between like the common person and these
Yeah, exactly.
celebrities.
That's what it felt like.
Yeah.
And you know, like that, and there's like a sense of like, okay, well, did I have to be annoying to get there? Like that was that was my concern, but
Okay.
it did feel cool. Like, you know, whatever. Like there was a time, so like there was a girl I was kind of talking to at the time, and I remember she saw my TikTok after we had been texting and then just like ghosted me. I was like, damn, I guess she doesn't like the Teletubby thing is not a turn on, you know? But then I went viral again for some other shit and she like texted me, hey, I don't know. It was like so
How did that make you feel? That sort of, I
at
don't know.
first I was like, damn, like I don't know. Like at first I was like, I guess like being like this style of humor and this goofiness is not like, you know, it's not like Bad Boy, like it's not gonna reach, or it's not going to be attractive to everybody. But then I was like, oh dude, fuck her. Like, well, you know, that's a clear indicator of like being yourself. And
Yeah, I don't know. Is Bad Boy even some
that's that. No, I mean more
right?
like there's
I mean,
like, you
like, is
know,
that part of who, regardless of your social media, of your TikTok, if someone meets you and you're having some sort of relationship, romantic or even otherwise, I don't know that Bad Boy is part of the repertoire of Sean Millea.
I know. Here's what I'd say. Like, if I meet somebody at a bar or like out, like there's a certain, you don't know who I am. So
Okay.
there's a certain air of mystery that you can play to. Like, not that I'm going to be a bad boy, but like I could be
You
a
could be.
little, right. Exactly. I could be.
Yeah.
And so, but when you have the Teletubby thing, you're like, you know who I am right away. You're like, this guy is not a bad boy at all. You know, it's just like, and so, but at the same, you know, like there's pros and cons. It's like, all right, well, fuck you if you don't like me being myself and having a fun time, but you don't get the air of mystery online. At least I can still go to a bar or whatever, unless they know the Teletubby thing, you know.
Yeah. Okay.
So
I see what you're saying. So it seems like there's like, because what I also found unique about what you did and kind of your virality wasn't like there was a mission, and it was, and besides it being focused on a photo of you, um,
yeah,
it wasn't really like disclosing a lot of personal information. It wasn't like you know how like the dancing on TikTok where it's like showcasing something
yeah,
specific, or like vloggers where you're like really showcasing like your life or specific things in it. So it seemed like there was this level of privacy that you were able to keep while still becoming viral from my end though. But it seems a little bit, I don't know, like based on what you're saying, maybe there wasn't as much privacy as I thought. Um,
I mean, actually there's like this time where I like was memeified because I was at the Shia LaBeouf event, whatever. It was like a live stream, and that like people like were finding my house number, my phone, my mom's phone number and shit. Like it was crazy. But with this, no, yeah, there it wasn't so much that there was no privacy as much as it was like, all right, I'm getting a lot of views on TikTok right now. All the celebrities are seeing my photo. If they see it and they're curious, they're gonna go look at my video. They're gonna get to know my name and my face. Like it
mm,
was a little weird in that sense. But yeah, nobody knew like more than what I was giving them, I guess. So, and I went through my Instagram too because like this is public. Let me go through and see like what I posted because I've had it since like middle school. I'm like, let me just like, you know, do a quick sweep through, make sure it's like uh ready for the public eye. But yeah.
yeah. So maybe, I mean, with the previous event you said with the Shia LaBeouf thing, if we could go back to that, I don't know if you want to talk about that or not.
Yeah, sure. I mean, so it's funny because like basically the conversation we're having today and this one that I'm about to tell you, like I'm going to be doing in a vlog style. So it's helpful that I'm doing this now to kind of have somebody to tell it to and remember what I said. I tried doing one last night with the riffraff thing, and it's hard talking to a camera with nobody there. It's like, there's no social. I get like a certain energy from you, and it feeds my telling of it. But anyway, yeah, the Shia LaBeouf thing. He did like this event after Trump was inaugurated called "He Will Not Divide Us," and so it was like him in front of a webcam in Astoria, Queens, at this like museum. And I like looked at it, and he was like there alone, or like not a lot of people were there. He was there alone sometimes. I was like, dude, like I get to go just chill with Shia LaBeouf. Like, sure, yeah, let me go do that. So I went there the first night. It was just me and a couple other people and him in front of a camera, and he's just like, "He will not divide us," and we'd like chant along with him. And then some Trump supporters came. They were yelling at the camera, and I tried to like keep the peace. I was like, dude, like you could say he will not divide us. Like you believe that, don't you? Like you like him. Like, it doesn't mean that it's totally against him. And
Mm.
so anyway, the next day I went there again with some friends, and I rolled a joint for him, and my friend had like mushrooms. It was crazy. And there was like a huge crowd this time. And so when I got there, a bunch of cop cars showed up at the same time, and they sprinted out of the car at me, and like all my friends ran. They patted me down. I was like, I guess this is because of the friggin' drugs in my pocket or whatever. And they patted me down, didn't find anything, walked away, looked around, came back to me, patted me down again, and then like went back to their cars. And so I went over to them a little later. I was like, dude, like what was that? And they were like, well, we got a phone call that somebody here in a red hat had a firearm, and we're realizing now that Shia LaBeouf has a red hat and you have a red hat. So it was just bad timing. Somebody called like it was a prank call.
Mm.
And so I like went up to the camera because Shia LaBeouf wasn't standing near it at the time, and I was like, like this is what happened, haha. But also my Instagram is this. I said my name
Yeah.
very quickly, and I didn't think anything of it. And then I like started getting bombarded in Twitter and Instagram. Some love, some hate. Like people calling me the worst things ever. Like the like I like just all the words I'm not supposed to say,
Okay.
they said to me, and they were like, "You're a friggin' idiot." Like, I hate. Some people were like, "You're funny, haha, I like you," but then there was like other people were like, "Trump is the best, fuck you." Like, I hope you die. And then my mom called me, and she's like, or no, she texted me a screenshot of her Instagram notifications. It was like, "You're a dumb Jew whore. I hope you die." Somebody messaged her, "Me and your son frequent gay bars together. I'm worried about him. He's addicted to cocaine." Like something like some weird. It was like just like weird enough that it seemed real. So she was like all worried, and then they called my house, and I ended up like talking to Shia. It was cool. He was like, "Oh, so they thought you were me?" I was like, "Yeah, it was weird." I was like, "I rolled a joint for us if you want to like smoke it later." He was like, "Oh, when the cops leave, like, yeah, for sure, but I'm on probation, so I'm not supposed to smoke or whatever right now." So I was like, "All right, cool." But after that's before all this shit happened. This shit happened. I got super like anxious. Told the museum curator. I didn't even realize I was talking to the museum curator, but I was. And he's like, "Oh, dude, like they hacked into our webcam earlier. Like you better go home or you better like double authenticate your stuff. You better make sure your stuff is all safe." I was like, Jesus Christ. So I ended up leaving with Tucker. But um that was worse than this, and I had more traction with the Teletubby thing than that. So it depends on the context of going viral, I guess.
Okay, yeah, I actually do remember this a little bit from your social media, but that is really crazy that they, and I guess it's because it was this, there was like an obvious opposite side to you, like an obvious opposition to
Yeah.
your point of view. But did you even really state your point of view on the camera? Like were
No,
you,
I like well, the reason I said what I said was because I like kept the peace like the day before. I was like, and
and
some
that was
people on
also
Twitter, it was
intentional.
weird. Somebody on Twitter was like, "This dude kept the peace yesterday. Like, give him a break." I was
Mhm.
like, "That's cool." Oh, they told I forgot. They told my mom I had a gun. Or no, I'm sorry. The cops thought I had a gun. So what happened was somebody photoshopped me holding a rifle in the webcam thing, sent that to my mom. She thought I had a gun or something. Like she was like crying.
Oh my god.
But
That
so
is
yeah.
so intense.
Yeah, it's a funny story now, but and I don't even know what
I
I
don't know if
said on the
it's very
webcam. I think it
funny.
might have just been like a bad set. Like I was like trying to be funny, but I don't think I was just like I remember like I was like talking to the camera, like I was saying something like, dude, like I don't know how many people are behind this camera watching. Like if it's just a camera, but it could be thousands or something. And then I don't know if I said anything interesting, but I was trying to be. So uh that's like to this day I'm like nervous. I'm like, oh, like was I making bad jokes? Like that's all I'm worried about. Was I just being cringe on there? But so I don't the political shit I don't care about, like whatever. But
Right. I mean, it's just crazy the reaction that you got from even doing, I don't know, like you said, just kind of being in a place maybe at the wrong time or the right time, depending on who's, I don't know, saying it. Like you achieved virality before you really like attempted to get viral.
yeah, well that time I did. I said make me a meme. Here's my Instagram account.
Did they make
I,
you a meme that time though?
yeah, I said guy in red hat or something. And they like that's why they photoshopped me with a gun and shit. But I didn't like that memeing because it was like angry. I
Right.
like the Teletubby thing because it was like they're my team. We're all trying to do, and with the other one, it was like I'm the enemy. Let's meme to make him feel bad. It was like
Yeah.
so yeah.
So what is like why did you want to become viral? Like why did you want to go viral? That time, this time?
Um, I don't. I just want to build like an audience and be funny on camera or like have funny ideas and so TikTok, I started doing TikTok because of Gary Vee. He was like, it's the only place you can get organic. Like he's like basically like all the videos I saw of him last year were like, you gotta get on TikTok. And I was like, all right. So I got fired from the Scott Rudin job like 5 times. And they which is like a whole story in itself. We're still boys, but so I like stayed home for a little while and just tried having fun with, you know, TikTok while I was home alone on like on unemployment. And yeah, why did I want to go viral? Yeah, just to build an audience, and it was fun. And it's hard now because I have the audience, but it's way harder to post because like way more people will see it when it's not good. And so like I was having fun with it in the beginning, but I would like it. Well, the video wouldn't do well. But all right, I'll delete that one, try again. Just having fun with it. Now it's like I can't. It's hard to have fun with it because if I post, it's like 1,000 people see it within 10 minutes, and it's just like it's like I'm less inclined to experiment. Um, and then people are like, oh, let's do Doug again, or let's see more Doug updates, or let's do the Teletubby thing again. And that's only like one comment per video, but it'll be like, or somebody said to me, I did a video I thought was funny. I was like, this is enjoyable to me, whatever. Somebody wrote unfollowing, and I'm like, fuck you. Like, okay, like you're entitled to unfollow me, but don't make me feel bad about content I'm making because you don't like it, like, or
Mhm.
you know what I mean? Like, and then I was like, okay, I said good. And they were like, rude. Like, I only followed for Doug content. I just deleted their comment and blocked them because they pissed me off. But I don't know if that's a good way to do it. But I was like, how am I rude? You said you tried making me feel bad.
Mhm.
Like, based because you didn't like the video I like. Like I would never do that to somebody. I never try and make them feel bad about if they're trying. I wouldn't
Right.
try and make them feel bad, but that's life. And so I got to learn to not care, not see it. But
There's this kind of interesting relationship between like the creator and like the viewer. And like as a creator, you're also a viewer of like other people's content, but as a viewer, you're not necessarily a creator.
yeah,
And like so like you're more conscious of like how you view other people's, like how you interact with other people's because you're also on the other end of it. But like as just a viewer, like I've seen people for like comment that like unfollowed, like specifically, around this time with the election, like with celebrities
yeah,
posting
yeah,
like who they were for, whatever. People are like unfollowed, like all this stuff. And I think what it strikes me as is like they feel as a viewer, as like a consumer of the content, um, they feel like it's like a review. It's like a Yelp review, like an Amazon
Yeah,
review.
that's interesting. I was actually wondering that yesterday, like the Yelp, even just because my parents were saying about this restaurant they went to, the owner will go on Yelp and basically respond to the bad reviews, and I was like, huh, like it's just weird. Like I've never gone to a restaurant, and only once did I give a bad review because they pissed me off and like they were like dicks to me, but I deleted it within 15 minutes. Like I was like, ah, like I just felt weird, and I'm like, what is the like? Never in life do you review something except for like movies. People put it in the paper. I guess they used to do that, but like the review, like it's like something people want to be critical of things, but I guess there's a way to do it. Also, it's not. I guess that's the nature of what comments are meant for. It's interesting when you put it like that, though. Like my instinct is like, all right, well, I didn't ask for your review. It's like, yeah, but is that what the comments are for? Like,
Yeah, like did you by just creating content and like getting people creating content for the purpose of engagement, are you inherently just asking for engagement, which is also slash comes with
negative engagement. Yeah, that's a good, interesting. I don't, it's tough because I'm like, all right, I guess maybe you can do it in a nicer way, like
yeah.
unfollow. It's like, okay, cool. Like, and what was their aim there? That's what I want to know. Like, why did they write unfollow? Like, fine, they didn't like it. They followed me for the prison thing, but why did they feel compelled to tell me? You know?
So I'm thinking one like a couple options. Like one could be kind of how you took it, they want to make you feel bad. But then it makes me think based on how you commented good and then they were like hurt by your comment. To me, it comes off more as like unfollowed, like this isn't good content, this isn't where I came from. Unfollowed. And it's a little bit like my opinion matters, but also my opinion should matter to you as the person that's selling content to me,
Yeah, I
likes to
guess
me.
like if I followed a series, like let's say I follow the guy that's trading sand up to the Tesla, like if he starts making other stuff that I didn't follow him for, like it just seems kind of like you're pissed in the moment. I've gotten annoyed at stuff like content that I didn't like. Like I didn't ever write anything, but I could see being like, what is this? Unfollow. Like it's like, all
Yeah.
right, dude. Like it comes from a negative place. It's not like there's a difference between like, I followed you for Doug, like I'm hoping to see more of that, or like where's the Doug
Sure.
stuff, as opposed to unfollow, like a bitter, you're not giving me what I want.
Yeah.
So
There's not really any chance for like redemption in that either. So it's not like, you started going down a path that I don't want this sort of content. So I'm just gonna not even like, like suggest that you go back to it. I'm just gonna cut it right now.
yeah, and it's also like I don't know why you followed me to begin with. So how is that supposed to help me? Like, did you not think this was funny? Did you think it was offensive? Did you're waiting for more Teletubby stuff? Like, tell me what it is. Jeez, this coffee's hitting me. Tell me what it is, that made you follow me. Give me some sort of like if you want to give me constructive feedback, I get like, I didn't ask for it, but like that's
It
better.
It's interesting that I mean, you have like I stated in your intro, you have like 14 million likes on TikTok, or sorry, 14 million likes on TikTok. I don't think TikTok tells you how many views, but if you have that many likes, you have like probably triple the views throughout your whole page. And how this one comment you remembered so specifically, and that you remember what you responded and what they responded back to you, and how that sticks in, and that clearly has some sort of like emotional charge.
Yeah, it's
Like
funny that I
yeah.
hate hate. I just don't like it. Like I don't like the of like doing something like telling a joke that doesn't land. It's like, ah, it hurts. So um
Yeah, sure.
but also like yeah, I had hit 700,000, and so
Yeah,
with every video I post, like inevitably I lose followers. So I'm
okay.
at 675 now, and I that's 25,000 people that left, and
Mhm.
like I could fill a stadium plus some with the amount of people that said, fuck this guy. But then my friends made a good point, which was like, yeah, but there's 670,000 that stayed.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, they didn't all see that video though, just so you know. It was 10,000 views, 1,000 left. No, I
Like
mean,
10,000 didn't leave. It's not like 10, like 100% of people left.
yeah, exactly. Like again, like she gave me a great rebuttal to my negative thinking, and I was like, that is a great point. But not all of them left. That's the it's not like 670,000 stayed, 9,000 stayed, 1,000 left. I'm like, why do you do that? Like, stop breaking the numbers. Like, and even if I can like the other thing too is you got to kind of spend money to make money. You got to lose some to gain them.
Mm.
That's the other element there. But
So let's go back a little bit to Gary V because I want to make sure we touch on this. So you I think you mentioned that you worked for Gary V, or you currently work for Gary V. And I did see when I was going through your TikTok, and I do actually remember when you were in the moment when you were attempting to do this with the banana. Um,
yeah, try getting the job with the Teletubby thing.
yeah. So could you just tell me about that a little bit? Just walk
Yeah,
me.
that I didn't get the. Oh shit! I gotta post it. Speaking of, I gotta post a Gary TikTok. I'm gonna be on my phone talking to you for a second.
Okay.
So yeah, basically, I had to do a prompt where it's like make a video about a banana. It's like,
Hmm.
oh, let me just use my already viral momentum to make a viral idea about this. And so I had them tag Gary as a banana, and didn't hear back from him for a while. Then found out I didn't get the job. I was like, yeah, that makes sense. Like they wanted a new idea about a banana, like not just throw a banana into your already viral thing. Like that's kind of like
The banana went viral, right?
the tagging thing was what was viral. The banana was secondary. Like
Right.
yes, people were using the banana. I was getting engagement, but it's not like I didn't really follow the prompt, which was make a content about a banana. It was
Okay.
here's a
You like
viral idea.
piggybacked.
Yeah, I guess. So I ended up getting the job later, like over the summer. I applied again, didn't get it again. They were like, "We want you, but we don't have a lot of spots." And then they hit me up in September, and they were like, "Do you want to be Gary's TikTok editor?" There's like three of us now. There's two of us. Said sure. Been doing that for a month, and I actually put in like my 2 weeks already because I was like editing, as I said to Gary, I was like, the ironic thing about editing your videos every day is you're inspiring me to quit the job you gave me. And he was like, he like laughed, thought that was awesome. And I was like telling him how I wanted to just like go full force with this TikTok momentum, try and like make like a living off YouTube or social media in general. And he was actually, I don't know what I'm allowed to say about this, to be honest, but he was like saying that 137 PM, his company, that's kind of like a meme account slash barstool esque.
Okay.
He wants to like grow that into like a barstool level thing. And he's like, I think you could do that. And so I might be just moving over to that. And basically they'll pay for me to do content that I'm already doing, like for them. So
Mm.
it could be cool. We're gonna discuss more of it, but uh yeah, that's kind of where I'm at with the Gary V thing because I love Gary and he like is super inspiring and stuff, but he inspires me to make content on my own. So it's like weird that I'd be like, yeah, all right, let me make your content. It's like, no, that's not like you're not doing what I told you to do.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like this past month, I've been watching so much of him that I'm like, all right, I know what I need to do now. He's like a master class in the Gary V mentality.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Interesting. It that's yeah, that's really interesting. I'm not really familiar with his TikToks.
He's just like he's an entrepreneur and like a business guy, but he's also just happens to be like know how people should grow and what they need to do, and
Mhm,
he's good at like basically putting that into words and motivating.
mhm.
So
Cool.
yeah, so just watching his videos all day and like repackaging them for TikTok is like he's like you gotta know what you want to do, you gotta know what you love, and then tunnel vision, be tunnel vision and do that until you're making like basically shit you would know but knows how to say it. And it's like
Mhm.
watching that every day, it's like yeah, you're right. Like I should be doing that. And I'm, sitting here editing this,
Hmm.
which I did enjoy. Like he has 5 million followers. Like I'm getting to experiment. I'm getting to learn more about TikTok. Like I'm not bitter in any way. Like the team is great. They're all super nice. But like working on a computer at home all day because it's like remote and
Right.
having no social interaction and wanting to grow more of my own, but not really having the time. That kind of stuff is where I was like, all right, I kind of got to stop this.
Yeah. I mean, I think that makes sense. Um, that's cool that it's kind of funny that it kind of turned out that way. You got the job that you wanted to get. You tried so hard using your social media platform to get this job, ended up getting the job, and now
And
quitting.
then just realized I didn't want it.
Yeah, I realized you didn't want it because of the content of the job that's inspiring you to go around. It's like very full circle. Um,
Yeah, it's cool that like, it's a lesson in life learned. Like even with it's just the idea that like there's like a hair in my face. The idea that like just because you're given an opportunity, like what you think is right isn't always right. I guess it's like, and who's to say if I do grow this audience that I want to be bigger and I'm quote unquote famous, but more so living off like doing what I want to do and being creative, whatever. Who's
mhm.
to say that it's not going to be Gary V 2.0? I'm going to get there and be like, fuck, this isn't what I want either. Like there's no privacy now, and now the haters, there's even more of them. And yeah,
But I guess you won't know until you get there.
yeah, I do want to find out. Like, even
Yeah.
if I'm going to hate it, I'd prefer to find out because I think that if I don't, I'll be just as miserable.
Okay.
Which is also, it's a depressing little conundrum there. It's like, in that scenario, both ends are um, not good. You know, I'm unhappy in both of them. But
Yeah.
in one, I got to figure out that I was unhappy. In the other, I thought it was an external. I'm unhappy because I don't have what I want.
Yeah. I mean, there's more choice, I guess, in one of them until
Yeah,
there isn't. Um, until you,
yeah. No,
yeah.
I think I don't think I'd ever be like I'll still enjoy it. I'm sure there's like a lot of stresses, and it's not going to be like the answer to life. But I think there's more outlets to do what I want to do,
Hmm.
and so
Yeah. I think that makes sense.
I have like this Joker pimple. It's like the connect the dots. So because of this job where I'm at home all day, I'm like this all day. Literally, it's my finger. It's a perfect line. It's the
Yeah, I feel that. I feel like I touch my face like constantly. I just have makeup. So
yeah, yeah. I don't have the luxury of the makeup. I could, I guess. I mean,
you could. That could be another
yeah.
project you take on. Could be an interesting boy learning how to do makeup. I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, it's hard. Yeah,
There's already an audience for that that's just way better at it. So I don't know. The beauty industry I've heard is intense in the
yeah.
social media world. But
That's all right. I don't really want to do that anyway. The pimples will go away.
yeah, it'll be fine. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about just get into some specifics. So, what TikTok? How much time do you spend on it, and how much
Like
is it like
watching.
a day? A day, and how much is it divided between creating and watching? And I
I don't. Sorry, I don't really watch like at all.
okay,
I should, like I know that's what you need to do to figure out what's working, but and it's fun. Like I like TikToks, like I do enjoy a lot of them, but there's part of me that's anxious to go on because I'm like I don't like going on my profile. It shows notifications in the right. I don't even want to see them. Like I'm like I get like because I haven't really, which I shouldn't be this way, but there's like the sense of like I haven't been putting out a lot. The ones I have put out don't necessarily do well with the algorithm, and for whatever reason that like bums me out. So I'm like just going on it. I'm like I don't even want to. I avoid it. Um, I have to watch a little because of Gary though, because of the job. So and he recommends, like, if you're gonna be doing something like that, you should be watching, kind of know what's working. But even when I was making stuff that was working, I really wasn't watching. So
Okay.
um making I try, and every day I'll try, but I'll like lose the creative energy pretty quickly, and that's like the worst of it. Is like I've been working for Gary, and so I'll be all day working. Like after I get off work, I'm doing it. But it's like once your brain is tired, like you can't really do anything, you know?
Hmm.
Like so but I will spend a lot of time, like every day I think about it. Like what am I gonna do to like progress? Like today I'm trying to do I thought a funny series would be like trying to get a mail order bride, or like meeting mail order bride. So I spent today like messaging some on the website just to
Hmm.
see, and it was like $30 for like 15 minutes of conversation. So I'm gonna try and make a video out of that.
Okay.
Um, but so I have like a notepad on my phone with like so many ideas, but so many are bad. So I'd say, sorry, I realize that I'm like really ranting on this, like what should be a short question,
No,
but
it's
I
okay.
spend a lot of time thinking about it.
Yeah.
That's what I'm trying to say.
It just getting to the actual execution sometimes is just like being tired, working all day, that just typical things. Not so much
Yeah,
to do with the actual like media or like the process of it.
yeah. It's
Okay.
hard. I'm and then I find myself like, oh, I did well with the series. What's another series I could do? And so I'm like, getting like looped into a series, and then I'm like, let me just think of some funny sketch ideas. I'm like, but I haven't really had a lot of sketches do well on there. Like people like them, but I've never seen them go viral. And then I'm like, I'll just do what you want to do. And then I'm like, and so, and then I'll go like full force an idea that's not that great. It's like, damn it, I wasted today on a bad idea. And so
Hmm. So let me ask you, what is kind of with that train of thought, maybe you don't have an exact answer for it, but what is like the purpose of of these videos? Is it to, kind of put your filmmaking, what you learned in school, what you want to do, like that avenue to use and practice it? Is it to gain an audience to just make money off social media? Is it to gain an audience for like to get larger product projects? Like I know
I,
you're
th-
looking at these series, so they're more like comedy based.
I think now I am doing it to grow an audience or a following so that I can do whatever I want, like creatively. Like I want to be able to make. I like vlogs. I sometimes I don't like. I filmed one last night. I didn't edit it yet. I'm worried I won't. And I'm like, is that me not realizing that even though I feel like I really want to do vlogs, like they're not for me, or is that I was just tired and I'm not off the ground yet, so it's harder to like get it started? Because basically what I think is like if I could have like a David Dobrik style life or like audience where I could not only make like vlogs and podcasts and stuff, but also make music and make a vlog about making music and be able to like jam with fucking Post Malone just because I have a David Dobrik following. Like if I could make a vlog where he comes over and I'm like, all right, Post, like we're gonna make a song today.
Yeah.
It can be bad, like it could be, but it'd just be sick to like how cool would a vlog be where Post Malone just sits down, it's like an interview, a hangout, but he's also making a song, he's showing you the process. That kind of stuff I'd love to do. And so that's kind of where I'm at, is like growing the following so that, and there's like the superficial reasons too. Like I'd like to be able to have a big Instagram following, but I'm like, why though? And I'm like, and I always have the feeling of like, once I do, then I'll feel more free to post like, what's up, guys? I want to do that stuff, but I feel like because I'm losing followers, I'm like, let's grow and then do that. Grow first and then do the stuff that doesn't grow. But, you know, who's to say I won't feel the exact same way when I get there?
Hmm.
But I just like the idea of being like a personality and like somebody that gets to talk and give opinions on shit and people watch it. Like that seems cool.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Okay. I guess that makes sense. It's like you're just when you get to that level, you'll be able to kind of pursue whatever you want creatively, and you can
Yeah, like if I
your
want to go
set
start a
audience.
cult for real in Pennsylvania, make a video about it, I'll be able, if David Dobrik wanted to do that, he could.
Sure. Okay. Um, Speaking of Instagram, so your Instagram following versus your TikTok following is really there's like a huge discrepancy.
Yeah,
Um,
I noticed that a lot with TikTokers.
okay, so I was actually gonna ask, like, do you let me see, I think you have about like maybe 15K on Instagram, and then like I said, you have, close to 700K on TikTok, 600K on TikTok. So what do you think the discrepancy is about? Like, do you care about it? Um,
No, I mean, I've tried getting them to come over. Sometimes it works. Like, I mean, 17K is still cool. Like, I only had 1,000 at the start, but um, I think, yeah, it's just hard to get people to leave the account to go to another one, like, or the platform. They also like the content I was putting out was pretty much like they're getting all they need to get on TikTok.
mhm.
Um, it's weird, right? Like, when have I ever left TikTok to go follow somebody on Instagram? Uh, like if it's like a girl that's like cute, I'll be like, Instagram's more like, for whatever reason, it just feels more like TikTok is kind of like, it's hard to explain. Like, Instagram feels more permanent in my mind. Like it's like hard to really put words to it. But TikTok, it feels almost like flimsy, like it could fall through your hands like water. Like it's not. That's
Yeah,
why.
I
And
feel like it's
Instagram
really interesting.
feels more personal to me. Like it's like, here's photos of my life. Here's like, so like TikTok is like a bar, and Instagram is like a. Mm, I'm not there yet, Michelle. I'll get back to you later with
Okay.
this simile
Okay.
metaphor. But in my mind, it's so clear.
Yeah. I mean, I see what you're saying because I have like a similar
That
um
might be cultural perception too. Like Instagram is more like, would you rather have 1 million followers on Instagram or TikTok? Probably Instagram. A, because TikTok might be banned. B, because TikTok is so new. It's like Vine. Like, will it stay around? Will
right.
Instagram Reels make it go away? So,
It also seems like a million in one platform isn't really equivalent to a million in the other. I feel like there's just so many, maybe there's not that many more TikTok users versus Instagram users, but it seems like a million TikTok followers is almost like more achievable for people than like a million Instagram followers.
yeah, well, so Instagram, I mean, TikTok, the thing about it, the reason I like it, the reason I did well on it, the reason most people grow on it is because you could post a video with zero followers and get 20 million views.
Hmm.
So I put all those videos on TikTok. They got the prisoner one, for example, like the series got 23 million views. So that's 23 million people that only had to press a button to follow me. I put it on Instagram, it gets however many followers I have minus some views. So
Right.
there's no engagement on Instagram from anybody that doesn't follow me. Except
Mhm.
now there's reels. But um so that's like the short answer of what you asked me. That's why. What do I think
Right.
about the discrepancy? Like, I get it, makes sense. I
Right.
want to, go at reels and try and grow on there as well, but it's hard until I like leave this job. If I leave this job, I only have, a few hours at the end of each day to make stuff. So,
Right.
yeah, and that's the hard part, is like, okay, where do I put my eggs? Are they in the vlog basket? Or are they in the TikTok series idea basket? Are they in the, you know, sketch basket? Like, that's the other hard part, is now I don't have a lot of time, and it's like, okay, what should I be going full force at when I do have time?
Yeah, that totally makes sense. I've tried my hand at a few different things as well. I feel like I've dabbled every like 6 months or so. I dabble into the YouTube game and make like some random video. But I realize, just like time commitment wise and other things that I have going on, and similar to you, it seems like it just it was just too much, took way too much time to do
Yeah.
YouTube and to grow it the way that I wanted to, and probably the way that you would want it to as well. Because it takes like a couple hours to film, then like it takes like 5 hours if you're lucky to edit,
Yeah.
and then if you script it, which you probably should, and then it ends up being like a 10-hour production. And if you want to do multiple times a
Yeah,
week,
that's what yeah. I wanted to do, like, almost scripted David Dobrik style vlogs, but, like, where the main character is kind of, like, willing to exploit his friends for views, so, like, uh
is that not David Dobrik?
yeah, well, he'll give back, but mine would be like, "Yo, eat dirt," like, or, like, if you wanna be in the vlog, like, eat dirt or, like, um, what was the one, like, going for I don't know, like, going for happy endings or something weird, but, like, that's, like, you're like, "Oh, this guy is, like" just, like, shit where you're like, I don't know," like, you almost hate the main character. He's kinda like Michael Scott or something where it's like, he thinks he's like David Dobrik, but he's just an asshole. But to
Yeah.
script vlogs is even harder because there's another layer of, like, preparation and, like, effort on top of it.
Mhm.
So, I'm just trying to and so I'll have 1,000 ideas, but, like, do I execute on, like, 1?
Yeah.
And it's like, is it the right one? Is it I have something called the TikTok mothership in my phone. It's just, like, all these different ideas, like, but some of them are half-baked, some of them are, like but I'll probably never go back and make any of them. It's usually I'll make it when when I think of it, you know?
Mhm.
Um, I'll send them to, like, Joe or, like, somebody, and I'll try and get, like, their feedback, and sometimes like, I did one where I was, like, doing, like, a lesson for a language I made up. Like, it was, like, lesson episode 47, so, like, if you're this far into it, it's just, like, what is he saying, you know?
Mhm.
And I sent that to Joe, I was like, "This might be funny," and Joe's like, "What the fuck did I just watch, dude?" And I was like, "Ah," and he was like, "Love you, dude. Always send me videos, but I don't get this at all." I was like, "God damn it."
Yeah, I guess that'll happen. But I don't know. I wonder if I don't know a lot about um like what works and what doesn't. Everything always changes on these platforms, I think. But like I wonder if it's worth just putting out something and seeing how it works, and then if it doesn't take, I mean, kind of like your process with TikTok, but I mean, maybe now that you have an audience, you're more selective with what you create on different platforms. Like there's a sort of pressure. Like you were
Kinda, yeah, or just, like, I'll have an idea that's I don't know, it's hard, like, it'll go stale in my mind pretty quick, or I'll have, like, a nugget of an idea and then not to know where to go with it, um, what's this one? Like, I'll have, like, little short story ideas, like, this one is, like, a guy he writes anonymous letters saying your husband or your wife is cheating on you, and he'll put them in random mailboxes just because he likes to see if anything happens,
Mm.
but I don't know where to go with it. And then I'll spend so long on this. It just started with the idea of like, oh, I think that's a cool idea if somebody did that, like this villain kind of guy. But it's like, oh, like it's hard to write a story around one little cool idea. And then I'm like,
Thinking of like this YouTube channel that
yeah,
so you want to be like the David Dobrik of the channel, but you want to be like a villain, kind of like a bad,
N-
not like a villain,
oh,
but you don't.
oh, and the scripted one, yeah, yeah, that one's more like it's like Michael Scott. He thinks he's the best boss in the world, but he's like actually the worst boss. It's like he thinks he's the best vlogger in the world, but he's actually the worst. Like he's an asshole. He's like obviously a narcissist, and
Are
he
you concerned that because you have already a social media following, if you did something like that, that people would, maybe not understand that it's scripted and start thinking that's who you actually are as well?
no, so I had like a little disclaimer in the beginning. I mean, this idea has been so far shelved. I just told
Mhm.
you because I thought like I was just like I have so many that I've shelved, but uh um this would be at the beginning of it. Um the events. So like at the beginning of each I had this like little intro. It was like the events you're about to see are sometimes real and sometimes are not. a desire to create what isn't and appreciate what is. So like my idea was like, oh, I could do like a mix of
Okay.
real vlog with like scripted stuff. And then I was like, ah, but what if I want to do real vlogs eventually? And then I was like, so it's more of like it's almost like a TV show, but for YouTube.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then I
I like
like
that idea.
stopped that idea, and there was like a different, like it was almost like it was like my like it would be like kind of like It's Always Sunny, and that like
You
it'd be
hate
like a fun,
everyone.
yeah, like I had like
Yeah.
one, it was like, oh, how do I get viral? Like, oh, I gotta have a hot girlfriend. So like I get a prostitute or something, and she's like, at the end I had it like, you gotta have like the moment of like where the character gets what's coming to him, and she's like, you're using me for like I don't know, like basically just ideas where you're like, oh, like this guy's an asshole, and by the end, he wouldn't be viral, and somebody would have told him off, he would have lost a friend. Or if the series was going viral, it'd be cool to kind of almost like Borat, where it's like a mix of reality and not, like it's like he's
Yeah.
going viral and he's getting hate, and like he's kind of like almost like Breaking Bad, where like the first episode he has no power, but by the end he's an asshole and has all the power in the world. Like he like slowly becomes David Dobrik. He's got this following, but he's becoming even worse. Like
Right.
David Dobrik married his best friend's mom as a joke. Well, this
Yeah.
guy would not only do that, but he'd actually be like having kids with her, and like
Okay. Yeah. I see what you're saying.
so it's like David Dobrik to the max.
Yeah. Okay. Interesting. um, Interesting. It's okay. Um, so let's something I really want to talk about before, because I know we're running a little bit long, um, is how has like this new I maybe this new fame, this new audience that you have, has it impacted your relationships outside of media, like offline relationships?
Um, Not really. Like when I see people out, they'll be like, "Hey, Teletubby thing, TikTok thing." Usually it goes. Sometimes it'll be annoying, like, "Oh, he's famous on TikTok," like at a party, like a Halloween little thing. They kept saying that, and that's like the bulk of it. Like I haven't had any sort of like change in like relationships really. I have had like certain people like in the height of it all, like people be hitting me up, but there was never any like big requests. There's like requests of like I'll get a lot of like, "Can you shout this sort of thing out?" Like one
Mhm.
kid was like, "Can you shout our podcast out?" And like, I don't blame them, but like, first of all, it's like negligible. At least I think. I don't think a lot of people are going to go look at their podcast, but also like, I'm nervous to post anything, so like, I'll feel bad. Like I feel like people are like, "Oh, like he's at the top finally," or he's not. You know how people are like, "Oh, when I get to the top, I'm gonna give back to the homies." Like
Yeah.
I'm not at the top yet. I've had people like, "Oh, can we collab on TikToks?" It's like I'm still growing. I'm still on like a first impression basis. So like it's hard
Okay.
to like reach down and help people up because I'm still climbing, I guess is the
Mhm.
best way I could put it. Um, so in that sort of sense, especially with the riffraff thing that was going on, like my musical friends, some were like kind of like, oh, oh, that's kind of lame that like you got this musical opportunity and we didn't because of TikTok, and like that sort of stuff might be weird. But overall, like, there's not, like, any sort of clear change. Um, I will say, like, it's easier to, like, meet people because of it, like, that also make content, like, that I don't know, but
Mhm.
not really any in person, like, my closest people to me, no change.
Okay. And just you mentioned the riffraff thing a couple of times. I just want to touch on it really quickly so everyone understands kind of what we're
Yeah,
talking
I got offered to be on a Riff Raff song. Well, I have a connection to Riff Raff's manager. I was saying how I wanted to do a TikTok where I kidnap a rapper and make them rap on a song with me so I'd get famous. And they'd be rapping about like how they were kidnapped and where they might think they might be based on where I like
about.
tag them or whatever. And they were like, "Oh, well, do you want to be on Riff Raff's album?" I was like, "What?" And so they were like, "Yeah, we'll send you an open spot on a song with him and T Pain." So they sent me a spot. It was just T Pain rapping and then this like part on the beat for me.
Yeah.
And I spent like well, they told me they needed it like a few days later, and I was like, "Oh my god, okay." So I tried, didn't like what I did, spent a month more trying new stuff. Didn't really like the song, couldn't get anything I liked, and so, um, I ended up like, I don't think they're gonna use it, and they wanted me to, like, make a viral something out of it, but it was hard because I was like, "Well, let me do the song part first." Hated what I did. Thought it would be funny if it was bad, but I was like, "Ah, but it'd be cool if it was good." Spent way too much time doing that, like, and so, but so when I posted the video about it, there was like certain people that were like, "Oh, like that's cool. Like, why didn't you hit me up to help you with it? Or why didn't you tell me? Like, I do music, I rap." And it's like, like, dude, like, I'm just so flabbergasted by this. I'm trying to make it like I'm not thinking about anybody else at the moment. Like when if like if this song comes out and I'm a viral sensation rapper, sure, then I'll help you, but
Right.
now is not the time.
Yeah.
So that kind of got in the way for a little bit, but all that shit's out behind me. That's why I
Okay.
did the vlog last night because I'm like, I got to tell everybody. Like, I made the video. Like, I got to explain why.
Yeah. Like what happened?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm
Okay.
gonna edit that later today after this mail order bride thing. Try and make that funny post.
Okay. Yeah, I saw something on, I'm glad you clarified because I saw it on your page. I just didn't know if it was like real or not.
Yeah, that's where
Uh,
it was real. And Riff Raff commented on my TikTok and everything, but it's like, oh shit. And like I was like, all right, well, it'll be a good vlog. And
yeah.
so I recorded it, and I'm like, I feel like I might have been nervous. Like there was some, like I told the story, but I don't know if I was funny enough as I want to be, or which is not a good play. I'm gonna just like I gotta like edit it together, see what it's missing, maybe throw on the same clothes and film what I need. But
Mm, yeah. So you're in the way. Soon we will hear about it in more detail through your vlog.
yeah, and if not, I'll send people this podcast and be like, I talk about it at the end.
Okay. um okay, and so there's periods in my life where like if I get really into Instagram, it's really more with Instagram, but if I get really into it and like posting, I get super hyper focused on documenting specific things or like specific views or aesthetics. And I end up starting to like sort of see through this figurative and literal lens of Instagram while I'm like interacting with the world and like living my life.
Mm.
So I'm curious if that's something that you can relate to with TikTok or maybe even Instagram, though I know you're bigger on TikTok. Like
So
how
meaning like so if I like when I used to do stand up, right? Like I would be like so much looking at jokes that like when somebody told a joke in real life, I'd almost like have it on a scale of like I judge it more based on my stand up. And so
Mhm.
with TikTok, I'm like looking at videos people make or moments or like stories they're telling me. And I remember thinking like, this do well with the TikTok algorithm. Like I was almost like I was like thinking about it too much in that way. And so that if that's kind of what you mean.
Yeah, like just kind of living your like you start um like how you interact with the world and like the offline world. There's like this crossover between like thinking about online
Yeah, for
world and offline
sure.
world. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. And lately, I forget that I have any followers on TikTok, like at certain times. But um, yeah, it bleeds in a little bit where I'm like more just like, like thinking about how this would be received on TikTok, or like how would this sort of like that kind of stuff. Um, or
Does it
like,
ever
is
get in the
this?
way of like whatever you're doing if you're like, does it ever affect your behaviors or your actions in those moments if you're thinking of that like oh that's a good story, like maybe that could go viral or like this or
Yeah,
that.
sometimes I'll try and keep a like log of it, but not in the sense like I mean, TikTok right now is like what stand up was for like it's like a stage, and so I don't think it's any more unhealthy than like being at the veterinarian with your dog and saying, "Oh, here's an observation I could bring to the stage and tell a joke about." I don't think it's any different. It's like a more modern version of that. It's like, "Oh, I'm at the vet. How can I turn this into a TikTok later?" Same kind of thing.
Okay.
Um,
That's interesting. I okay, so I never really thought about it like that, like as a
Yeah,
Kind of
because
compared
stand
to
up still,
um,
yeah, it's just like a new platform for art. And,
okay, yeah,
there's no guarantee that it's going to remain the platform, that it'll go away, but it's a place to grow. Like I have 17,000 followers I didn't have before on Instagram,
yeah,
or 16, whatever, and I have 600 on TikTok. Like, so I don't think there's an, it's on, like, it's unhealthy when it makes me like anxious, but it's not in the sense that it's like bleeding into my everyday life.
okay. And at its height, I mean, see, in that statement, I feel like it's a like it's unhealthy in that it makes me anxious, but it's not bleeding into my everyday life. So like in that anxiety, it's not like pervasive or anything. It's just
Like,
like those temporary times when you think about how to grow.
yeah, I mean, like, there's a sense, like, I guess it kind of got me excited. Like, I was like, okay, like, I had all that momentum, and I'm like, cool. Like, I don't fucking need a studio executive or somebody to like give me the shot. Like, I could just do it online myself. And so when I'm not actively growing, like now, these past few months where I haven't been, like, god damn, like, I got to get back on that. I got to keep doing that. So it makes me anxious in that way.
Okay.
Like, it's like, damn, I had the ball rolling, it was moving, and now it's stopped. And I'm with my parents because of COVID, obviously, but with them, um, it's hard to like be like, "What up, guys?" Like try to be funny when they're home. Like when I was living with Moses, Eli, and Iggy, like I felt a little more freedom to like experiment with weird shit.
Right.
The prisoner thing I did while I was living here, but like the shit where I was having fun. That's the hard part. I was having fun with TikTok in the beginning. Now I have all the followers. I'm not experimenting and having fun with it. It's like partly the followers, partly the setting, the lack of social engagement and stuff like that. Like just talking to you, I have to flesh out ideas or like what I'm thinking if to make you understand it. When I'm alone, I'll understand it and I won't have the incentive to flesh out the idea.
Yeah, that makes sense. And like not really realizing where there's holes because you just kind of have that one idea
Yeah.
in your mind. Yeah. Um, yeah, I think that totally, I mean, from a creative standpoint, I think that totally makes sense. And feeding off of other people. So is it's getting a little harder to pick that ball back up, I'm assuming?
Yeah, like just get it rolling. Like I'll be like, oh, like I'll have days where I can't think of anything, or don't like what I thought. I'm like, oh, I guess I don't have it anymore. I don't got that. Like, and then I don't think like I could always get it rolling again. Like it just takes one idea, but the adrenaline or the momentum of having done it recently, I think is easier to ride on.
Yeah.
Um, and the other thing I did that I wish I didn't do, but I'm now moving forward is like I'd have an idea do well, and I'd be like sick. I could not. I could chill now, and so I'd
Okay.
chill for like a week, and then a week became a month, and then I was like, well, I got to make something again, and it's like, damn, you should have rode out the adrenaline of having made something sick, like
Mhm.
don't like. I was just like, oh, okay, cool. Now I don't have to worry about it. Like I made something sick. Like I'll make something sick again in a little while, and then like a
Mhm.
month goes by, and then you don't think of something sick right away, and then it's 2 months, and then
Right.
so I think
Okay.
that's the hard part. You got to continually put shit out, and that's what I know now. But
Yeah.
yeah,
I mean, that's a lesson to be learned. That makes sense that you just the more you interact with it, the more you'll know about it. And it
yeah,
seems like though, like even just based on the fact that you kind of keep running lists of things going, that you're still in this process of continually like brainstorming ideas. So like even if you're
yeah,
really like making things to fruition, I think you're still, working on stuff. Like you're still thinking about it kind of all the time, it seems like.
yeah.
So that's good. For your, I mean, if that makes you feel any better, because I feel like you think that
No,
you're
yeah,
stuck, but I think it seems like you're constantly trying things. It's just hard to commit to a lane. But
yeah, for sure.
yeah, but I mean, I don't know. You don't always have to commit with your first step. You can take another step if you want, or you can go on another path. So
Yeah, that's true.
yeah. But that's all of the questions that I had for you. So thank you
Yay.
so much, Sean, for
I
sitting
hope this
down.
was helpful.
Yes, it was so helpful. It was so good to talk to you and to learn about your whole process with everything and get a inside look into TikTok virality.
Yeah, at least for me, I don't, there's some people that put out a lot a day. Some people put out like 5 videos or 3 videos a day. Like, so virality for me is probably not the same for everybody else, but that's a look into my virality. Sorry to cut you off.
No, that's okay. Yeah.
I just don't want people to watch this be like, that's not what virality's like. And like, because, that's just my experience.
Yeah, I think it's virality.
Cool.
So we can, I'm vouching for it. But yeah, so I hope everyone listening enjoyed the episode. I want y'all to stay tuned for next week where we dive into the world of modeling and the effect of visibility. Sean, I would love for you to have the last word. Anything that you want to leave with the listeners? It is. Um,
Um, Anything I want to leave with the listeners? Yeah, just don't be afraid to put stuff out, like make stuff, and if you're having fun with it and you're enjoying it, like you're gonna strike a chord with people.
awesome. All right. Thanks, everyone. Stay safe, and we'll see you next time.